I would define a trend as sort of a pattern of behavior that you keep seeing. A lot of times, like in the high school, a trend might be an action. A lot of times, like a sound almost, often from like TikTok or something that people repeat, or like clothes is a big thing. So like people will wear the same kinds of things. I think that's how I would define a trend.
I would define a trend as something that a lot of people do and is really popular.
I would define a trend as something people do to fit in.
I would define a trend as something that people follow because they think it's cool.
I define a trend as something that's like popular.
Think about the last trend you followed. Maybe it was a song, a fashion style, or something you saw online. Now ask yourself, did you choose it or did it choose you?
I believe that people follow trends because people usually like being in groups, and that's from a really ancient thing too.
I think that people follow trends because they want to fit in with social norms and societal expectations, and sometimes people are afraid to express themselves because they don't want to be different.
I think people want to follow trends so that they can fit in, and no one really wants to be different.
Trends catch on because people repost it or do the trends that are happening.
I've probably spent thousands of dollars on trends because trends define consumerism in America.
I have actually not spent any money on a trend really because I'm not on TikTok. I don't use TikTok or Snapchat or whatever.
The most expensive trend would be like, people like posting flashy cars like Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and stuff like that, Mercedes.
Cars or other assets like that, because that definitely makes a dent in your bank account, but other things like makeup and like clothes, those have kind of been trends for a long time.
A product that only blew up because it was trendy were the Rhode lip glosses, because they're not that good. I just think it's a name brand that everyone likes.
A product I think only blew up because it was trendy is Stanley's.
The funds can definitely add on when you're immersed in that type of spending for an extended period of time.
A trend that I follow is the polka dot trend, and I also have one on Walla.
A trend that I follow is the Walla water bottles, which is pretty basic. I think most people have them.
What trends do is they let you be part of the group and be included in like a social circle, which is kind of important.
I think that trends spread faster online because you can reach a wider audience and you can reach the entire world, whereas in schools it's just like more local and centralized people that live in the area. So in different areas there's different cultures that are aligned with that.
I don't think slang dies faster than fashion because people just say words on a daily basis and just goes on with their vocabulary.
I think fashion trends die faster.
I think trends catch on through like Instagram, TikTok, and people like influencers posting them all the time.
Trends catch on from like being seen online and like people posting videos on social media.
The trend I didn't approve is the crate box challenge. We were just like stand up on top of a crate and then sometimes you would fall and hurt yourself. Like just be mad at them.
I believe that a trend that actually has a good impact on some people is like, I think it was called diet maxing or something like that. I think it was online. I feel like this is a good thing because you actually get a better diet, you become more fit, you become more healthy, and for some people, I don't know if they just don't know basic health, but you do need to eat vegetables and protein at the same time, so yeah.
There is a trend that I don't like. I don't like Labubus, and I think they're unnecessary and expensive.
I think a trend that has had a really positive impact on us as a society is that a lot of YouTubers and other people with like a social media presence and influence have done things like for example Mr. Beast, how he plants trees and how he like buys food and clothes and gives them to people in need. And I think that when people with a lot of influence on social media do that, then it kind of spreads to everyone else. So there's been a trend of that in recent years.
The person who influenced me the most is the King LeBron.
Someone who influences me is Simone Biles because as a gymnast I enjoy watching her videos and like learning what she does.